Understand the grass is greener syndrome. Hi, it's Bijan here. I'm a life coach with a background in hypnotherapy and systemic therapy. My passion is to help others explore and change their inner subconscious pattern. If you're new here, please make sure to subscribe to my channel. I would really appreciate an early thumbs up. This really helps my channel to grow. Thanks a lot. In this video, I really go deep about the grass is greener syndrome. I explain you what it is, why it happens, what you can do if you got dumped because of it, and what you can do to overcome it. At the end of the video, I share some powerful insights and strategies, and I will also tell you what brings real bliss. So make sure you stick to the end. Let's go right into it. Grass is greener syndrome. What it is. The best way to describe it is the topic of relationships. There it happens the most. So imagine you're in a relationship for quite a while and things got kind of normal and settled down, and then usually it happens that you start to wonder, and maybe you have some things on your partner's side which you don't like, which you can't see anymore, really annoying things, and yeah, you tend to focus on these things and you start to wonder, well, what would it be if I would be in another relationship? Maybe I would way happier. Maybe you see some other people where you're attracted by and you think, whoa, maybe on the other side, the grass would be greener. This means the thought arises that you think if I change my relationship, everything will be better and I will be happier at the end. So that's basically the grass is greener syndrome. So it means you have something, but you think maybe it's better if I go somewhere else. And what often happens because of this, that one of the two ends the relationship, and the person who ends the relationship is usually in a state where the person is unsure, not sure what to do. The person acts out of feeling and usually just sees two sides, two options, whether to stay or to leave. And it's kind of also helpless and doesn't know what to do. On the other side, the person who got dumped is like, it's really hard because you usually don't get a clear reason, you don't get really a warning, and maybe you hear excuses and phrases like, well, I'm not sure, it's not about you, it's about me, I can't commit actually to 100%, or I just don't know what I want, I'm sorry. Yeah, these are the things you probably hear. So it happens a lot. It's not the exception, it's more like common. It happens to a lot of people that people get dumped because of this. Let's have a look. Why does this happen? So actually it's pretty common thing, and I bring you some more examples why it is. There are a couple of other circumstances where it happens a lot, not only in relationships. For example, if you study something or if you're in a certain career path, maybe the thought occurs, like you think, I wonder how it is if I change to this other study direction. It looks actually way more appealing and cooler to me. Or I wonder if I would change my career, is this really everything? So shouldn't I go maybe another direction with my career path? Or other examples, way easier. You are in a restaurant, you have a menu, and you can't decide what to order. And then you think about, this looks nice, but this looks also nice. Then at one point you take a decision, and then maybe you regret it and think, maybe I should have ordered the other thing, and maybe I did a mistake here. Another example, TV. You're watching something, and then you think, let's zap through the channels, maybe I find something better, something more entertaining. Or you hear a song and skip it before it ends because you think maybe the next in the playlist is even better than this song. So I'm pretty sure in one or the other example you found yourself in the past. So there you can see it's actually a pretty common thing. And the reason behind it is like, we tend to search for the optimum for us. Like we tend to aim for kind of perfection. And this is for sure also what we see often in social media, TV, magazines, or whatever, Hollywood, whatever it is. So the intention behind it, it's understandable, and everyone wants to have the maximum out of life. That's kind of normal. There are other reasons behind it why it can happen. So another reason can be fear of missing out, that you just think, oh, I can't settle now, I have to try some other relationships. Another reasons behind it can be that the person has really issues with certain things. So I list here a couple of them. For example, the person has issues to commit yet, with decision making, intimacy, fear of settling, loss of patience, etc., etc. So there are a couple of reasons that can be behind such a thinking, like maybe I should go somewhere else. Another reason can be that really significant need of a person isn't met. And if this is the case, we tend to focus heavily just on the negative side, just on the traits of our partners which we don't like and we can't see anymore. And we don't see anything positive then usually. So there is a really like black and white thinking, and like basically two options, stay or leave. It's kind of a one-way thinking. Some people are even addicted to this honeymoon phase and to this euphoric hormone cocktail in their bodies in this time, that this negative spiral happens over and over again and they feel they can't escape it. Let's see what happens in our brain then. So if this process starts of this grass of greener phenomenon, our brain starts to create fantasies. And our thoughts wander, and maybe we see some attractive people around us and we wonder, this is a nice guy, I wonder how it is to talk with him. This is an attractive woman, I wonder if a relationship with her would be way better than what I have now. So our brain paints pictures of something better that we have. And for sure, this is tempting to go there. So that's what's happening in our brain. Let's see how we can deal with it. We start with, if you're on the side, if you got dumped, what you can do. If you got dumped, the only thing you can do, let the other person 100% alone. I know it sounds hard, but the only thing you can do is working on yourself. I know it is hard, and you have to tell yourself, it's going to suck. It will be painful, but I will go through it anyway. The only thing you can have here, and the only thing what matters is self-respect, respect to yourself. So if you improve your own life, if you make the best you can out of it without reaching out to the other person, then this elevates the chances that the other person eventually comes back. And if you had a really overall positive relationship, if it really was something healthy, then the chances are even higher that the person realizes it after a break and then comes back. You don't know how long it takes. It can take weeks, can take months sometimes. And there's a chance that the person never comes back. But as I said, if it was a healthy relationship, then the chances are high. And the more you focus on yourself, the more you let go, the higher are the chances that the person comes back. Let's go to the other side. What is if you have this issue, you have this grass is greener phenomenon, and what can you do about it to overcome it? Well, first, I give you 3 very important realizations you have to make. Number one, you have to see that these fantasies can't be met by reality. This grass, if you look out to the other side, looks greener. But the problem is you are not there, so you can't really see the grass in detail. You don't see the weeds growing between all this grass. You don't see all the bugs and the ants down there, even if it's molding already the grass. You can't see it from far. From far it looks perfect, but if you would go closer, you would see it's not perfect at all. Maybe it's even worse, the grass, than here on my side. So it's also with reality. So social media is a big thing where you just see the positive sides. You just see the happy couples, happy people. They just show the happy moments. They don't show the fights. They don't show the misery they're going through. So it's really just an unrealistic picture you see. The same with Hollywood, with media, with advertising, TV. They're showing us all just the happy, perfect side, but no one shows the real picture. So this is very important to realize. The realization number one you have to do, these fantasies can be never real at the end. Realization number two, which is very important, is there is no emotional perfection. It's really impossible. It will be never like this, that in a relationship 100% of your needs are met. This is kind of hard, but it is like this. So if you miss something in your relationship and then you go to another person, maybe you get this, but maybe then you're lacking something else which you had in your relationship now. So just because you just focus on the thing you need now doesn't mean that there are other things you also need. And there will be never a state where everything is perfect. You just have to realize that. Realization number three, which is very important, is this trap of black and white thinking. It's really a trap because your brain is kind of in the state, it just sees stay or leave. It just sees like these two options. And then you feel kind of trapped. And what happens is our brain just focuses on the negative. We just see the negative traits of our partner. We don't see anything positive anymore. Even if there are a lot of positive things, we just don't focus on them anymore. And whatever you do then is wrong, because if you stay, then there comes regret. So then you regret, oh, I should have left. There must be so way more bad at the other relationship. And if you leave, then you start also to regret, because you think then, oh, maybe it was a mistake. It was such a good relationship. Maybe now it's worse. So whatever you do, you lose, because you just see these two options, and then they will kick in every time the other voice, which says, well, maybe that was a mistake. Maybe you should have stayed. Maybe you should have left. So you can't win inside of this trap. These are very important things to realize. And then let's go a level deeper. What can you really do after you realized all this? What can you really do to overcome this grass is greener syndrome? So set realistic expectations. As I said, you won't get the perfect, you won't get Hollywood, it's not real. So set realistic expectations. Try to step out of this black and white thinking. Try to see different options. Like, for example, in a relationship, you have a need which is not met. So instead of just leaving or staying, what's about different options? What's about maybe talking with my partner about it? Maybe talking about things that the other side can do to at least give you something of it. Or the next thing is a very big thing. Learn to create internal satisfaction without external shifts. Maybe find something else which soothes you, which satisfies these needs in you, which is not connected to your partner. Maybe it can be something else. Maybe it can pursuing a hobby. Maybe it can be meditation, doing sports, whatever it is for you. Find this thing which satisfies you without changing your external things. So try to work internally. Another thing is tolerate imperfections and embrace it. Embrace compromise. Know that the reality looks like this. You have to make compromises. It's always like this. There is no perfect. We are all humans. No human is perfect. So you have to learn to see that and embrace that. And with this said, like, try to let go of this search for perfection. You can't win this game because there is no perfection out there. So try to let go of that and stop comparing yourself. Stop comparing yourself with others. It doesn't lead to happiness. The opposite is the case. It leads to unhappiness, unsatisfaction, especially if you do it on social media, because there you just see the good sides, not the bad. And let's go one level deeper. The deepest advice I can give you, and this goes really to the core, is switch the focus from the other person to you and look at yourself. What I realize often in coachings with my clients is that underneath, so there is this emotional need. You feel like you need something. And this emotional need has a reason, has a cause, a deeper lying cause usually. Usually it's pain. It's unresolved pain from your past, whether it's from relationships, from childhood, whatever it is. So there are certain things in you that make you feel needy. And it is very important to look at these and to find a way first to realize them, to identify them, and then to help soothe yourself and to meet these needs. So the most important thing I can give you in this video is deal with yourself, deal with unresolved pain and grief, and care for this emotional needs inside of you. If you do this properly, then you don't need this perfection on the outside. So we want to have the outside perfect, often because we feel so imperfect in our inside. And you can ask billionaires, you can ask Hollywood celebrities. They have everything around them, but they still feel not significant, not perfect, not happy, because it's in you. And as long as you feel insignificant, as long as there is a problem in yourself, you can change your surrounding like you want. It won't change your inside. So it's way more effective to work on yourself, to look inside of you and see what you need and what you can do to help. Go out and seek professional help for this. If you feel like it's too much, I can't look at it, there's huge pain, like search out for a therapist, a coach, whatever it is, talk with friends. So go this route because it's really worth it. And my last giveaway, what brings at the end real bliss? Real bliss brings if you work through these challenges, if you do the hard work. Let's go back to this example of studying. So a study is tough. You have to put in the work. And at the end, if you have this degree, you feel great, you did it. But you can, if it starts to get hard, you can think, okay, maybe it was a wrong decision. Maybe I should go to the other study or to the other one. And then you can hop around as often as you want. But at the end, you have to put in the work at one point to get this final good feeling of the degree. And it's the same with relationships. Like, we thrive when we work on ourselves and when we grow. And this is especially in relationships. So even if everything sucks right now out of your perspective, like, going through this together with your partner, finding solutions, and I promise you will come out of it stronger and even more connected to the person. You can ask every long-term happy couple and you will hear the same, that they work together through these hardships and then they connected even on a deeper level through this process. So it's the easiest way to run around if difficulties occur, but the real bliss comes if you work through it and at the end if you feel even deeper connected to the person. Okay, I hope this helped you. Thank you so much for spending so much time with me here in this video today. Give me not early anymore, but anyway, give me a thumbs up. I would really appreciate it. Thanks a lot and see you in my next videos. Thank you. Bye-bye.